today is vegan royalty. I am over the moon to bring in my guest today, Richard Marx. We all know him, pop rock star. He really does define that. And Daisy Fuentes, I'll say supermodel, model, TV host, but really I want to say business props out to you because I think she's got brains and beauty all wrapped into one. Such an extraordinary businesswoman. We talked about it a little bit, but maybe if we could just sort of concisely, I know Richard said he saw some movies and he was like, okay, I'm not going back. But I don't know if there was really specifically like a day that you remember, because I have a very day of a conversation that happened and I was vegan that moment in the conversation. Do either of you have a memory of like, zing, I will never go back? The actual moment you went vegan.
Well, I remember that you phased fish out last.
Yeah. I was a pescatarian for years.
You were a vegetarian, and then you started eating fish a little bit. And then when we went into the whole plant-based vegan thing, you were still having fish a little bit. And then you watched Blackfish.
Yeah, which is really not even
I know.
It's really a documentary that's not about veganism or it's about the cruelty of the whale industry, right? And being whales being kept in captivity in SeaWorld and all that nonsense. And there's a scene which he's talking about, because I've mentioned this. We were watching it because we are animal lovers, and there was a scene where they capture a baby orca. Family, or the pod, wouldn't disperse, and you could hear them audibly crying, wailing, as they say, right? Yeah. And it's a very emotional scene for most people who have the slightest bit of, heart beating in their chest. But for me, I'll tell you exactly what happened. We saw that scene and it's very disturbing and it's very sad. But my takeaway was different, which was in that moment, because my heart broke for this, and for my whole life, I would never eat a whale. I would never eat a dolphin.
Right.
I ate salmon.
Right.
And that was the moment for me that I went, who am I to say that the family or the pod of salmon didn't do the same thing when the fish that I ate on my plate last night was caught? And that was the moment that I went, I'm done. I can't ever eat fish again.
Daisy, is there something like that for you?
Many years ago, and you've heard this story before, I went on a fishing trip with my family. We were in Mexico, and my dad we rented this boat, and he was fishing, and we're all just very excited. And it'd been a few hours, and all of a sudden you hear that zzz, and he caught something. And it was like, oh, and we were all really excited. And it was something big because he was really struggling. What was the fish that I said? It was a marlin. So we didn't know it was a marlin. But after about 45 minutes, you see off in the distance, really far off in the distance, this big fish jumped up. And everybody was like, wowed. And we all were like, oh my God, wow. And somebody went, it's a marlin. Very excited. Everybody got so excited. Well, cut into like 2 hours later, my dad is sweating and still fighting with this fish 2 hours into it. And people are still very excited. We're all really excited. As this fish got closer and closer to the boat, he's now jumping. And as he's jumping closer, you see the struggle in this giant, beautiful creature. You're now seeing him fight for his life. Right. The closer he got to the boat, the more I was rooting for the fish instead of dad. Now, in one of those times that he got closer to the boat, not only did he jump up, but other fish were jumping up along his side. I'm getting emotional just talking about it. So, in one of those times, I went downstairs and I bawled my eyes out. And that's when I realized, like, oh my God, we're doing it all wrong. Like, this isn't a sport. Like, this is not fun. You're not seeing the struggle of this animal. Like, they have feelings. Any creature that fights for its life for hours like this, so hard, and you're just doing it for what? Like, for fun?
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Why are we doing this? At that moment, I thought, why are people fishing? I didn't make the connection with everything else, but I thought to myself, why do people fish? Why do you do this?
Yes.
That was a big connect for me.
And how could there be any joy to hurting something else that's so clearly, as you say, struggling for its life and has family, so clearly has a sense of community? And I'll just take this opportunity to say, if you think anything that you're eating has some humane certified label on it, please know that there is no humane way to kill something that doesn't want to die. So that's marketing, and that's just cha-ching business that is not connected to the truth at all. Thank you both for telling me those things.